Hi guys! Hi!
Bless you. The timing. Hi, everyone. Today is episode 40 of the Ups and Downs of Raw podcast with Kiku and Sky. And this,
40!
yes, it's 40. I'm so
Whoa!
excited. We've been
Me too.
able to continue. We've been, yeah, we've been able to continue. And today's title is Chance and Control. And I'm so excited to talk about this. Sky, you
Me
wanted to
too.
talk about this, and we chatted yesterday a bit on the voice calls, and I'm really excited what we can talk about. I mean, okay, so Sky, you want to go ahead and share why you wanted to talk about this chance and
Yes.
control?
Yes, actually, I got really triggered by this because I think hope and wish people would remember when they find something that works for them, what their goal was when they were trying to fix themselves. Like when they're laying their day, for me, surgeries, doctors, carers, another psych unit stay, another hospital stay, that I needed to stop. That is what happens to stop. The main thing I wanted to stop was not being so fatigued and being in so much pain and suffering all the time and not living near death, right? If you take those away, I'm well. I don't need to sit around and be like, I need to dig deeper. I've done all these horrible things in my life. I've got to fix this because it never ends. And if it never ends, the brain so easily comes out of gratitude. And I saw do a really good post, a friend of mine today on Facebook saying all these fruitarians who live on like uh, fruit farms and in Costa Rica and wherever, and their posts are constantly putting other people down. And it comes back to remembering why I personally do raw food, and we do raw food is to be closer to ourselves and God and self-love. And we want to stay in that. And another example is putting others down is not love. It's not self-love. And the other thing is if you fixed all the things your entire life, like just I think I gave the example, just say you had MS and your whole goal was to get rid of MS. But once you're doing that, you have a histamine issue. Don't be upset about the histamine issue because your goal was never to fix a histamine issue. Are you functioning? Are you up? Are you well? Fair enough, if something makes you really sick, it doesn't serve you. You haven't found the right lifestyle for you. But if you have, I swear and I promise on my life, how I stay so positive is I'm well. Every day I'm well. And I saw another video I was watching on the weekend about how it's called Spirit. It's a YouTube channel, great channel called Spirit Science, how a low frequency is the only reason we stay sick. And to raise your frequency, we need raw foods, we need love, we need sunshine, we need good vibes, we need positivity, we need gratitude. And you can't constantly be trying to fix yourself and still be in gratitude. It's like, it's impossible. It's almost saying, like, I don't like myself and I need to fix myself. And I think I gave the final example of when I healed myself, I was very isolated and I was like, oh, this cucumber tastes good. I feel good. I love you, cucumber. I love me, Sky. An apple, yes, it does that. Cooked food, no, I don't feel so good. And that I was like, I can actually teach myself love here. And that was just like the first chunk of what raw foods does. Even though I've had like a broken foot and I've had things come up with my hormones and a bout of shingles, it was not severe pain. My whole life did not feel like it was ending. So I'm well. So I want people out there to think about what, especially when they first started, just how sick they were and what their goal was. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, your um camera is a bit blur, I think. Do you see
Oh,
yourself blur or
yeah, no, I see myself fine.
that's strange. Hmm.
I can go back out and come back in. Is it still blurred?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me leave and I will be back, guys. How do I leave here? Leave. I'll be back.
Okay, great. Yeah, so this was a very interesting point. Or maybe you can see how it snowed so much today. Okay, Sky is back.
Am I blurred?
Oh, it's clear now. It's clear now. Yes.
Good. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Maybe the
Yeah.
sneeze. It was the sneeze.
It's it's better, but it seems like it's not as clear as no. But you guys let us know. Is it just my side? Yeah, Koala Mama is in the house and Curl is in the house. So you let us know. Yeah, it's now blurry again. You might
What I can
maybe you need
do,
to maybe you need
what
to
I what about this camera? So I'm on my iPhone as an external camera. I can use my MacBook Pro. How's that? Is that camera better?
it seems to be better. You guys let us know if that's okay. I'm in a different room than usual, so it might be on my side, but Sky is a little blurry still. Wi-Fi maybe? Koala said.
It
Koala
could
Mama.
be. I'm so sorry. So this morning I woke up and my phone has no reception. I don't
Mm.
have another channel to jump on when it comes to Wi-Fi. All I can do is go back out and come back in. I can probably jump onto my phone, but that's going to be very expensive to do a whole video on
I mean,
4G.
doesn't bother me. Yeah, Koala Mama said that I think it's her internet. I mean, you look beautiful still. The sound is
You're so
crisp.
sweet.
Yeah, so yeah, Carol said that the sound is crisp. So we hear you perfectly. I think it's good. I mean, it's a
Okay.
bit early, but
Sorry.
it's good.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's today is a as you guys probably saw how it snowed when you left. They saw the whole view, and oh my God, it snows so much, and I have no makeup today, but a lot of things happened on Monday morning. It's all okay.
You look nice and glowy to me. The raw food is singing through your body.
Thank you. What a friend to have. We always have to have a beautiful friend like Sky, right, to make you feel good. So
Oh.
it's such an important topic, Sky. I loved everything you said. It's probably the most important thing in this lifestyle, I feel, right?
Mm.
Like we push and push and push and push. And I was definitely in there. And even just a tiny thing is not quite aligned what with whatever the standard. People feel guilty and they keep on going with this detox, juice feasting for a month or 2 months. Oh no, no, I didn't have a mucoid plaque. No, I'm not clear enough. My mind is not clear enough. And yeah, like when do you ever appreciate your journey, like every moment of health that you have, that you can get up and I'm saying for me, like um I have shared that 2 years ago I almost crossed the line to go to the other world because I
Yeah.
lost so much blood, right? And then I kept thinking, like, why is this happening to me? And I always find the reason of being so sick or having some kind of accident, like, why me? And I think now I'm getting the answer that it just makes sense in so many ways now, that I needed to have that experience to truly enjoy it, the possibility to walk, possibility to go to the bathroom by myself, right? Not being waking up in the hospital. It's not to be a burden of my husband, who has to take me to the hospital and who's worried all the time.
Mm.
It's just so many things, so many little things to appreciate. And I feel you. Like I'm just after this, I'm gonna go to work in the snow. I probably have to walk to this work location. But to be able to do that, to all that, it's a miracle. I love every moment of it.
When it comes to using things like, because I was like that, I was like, got onto this lifestyle and I'm like, I'm just going to keep cutting things out, like cut out the nuts, cut out the salt, cut out the anything in a packet. And then I end up with a huge amount of histamine issues. And I still battle with the idea that I need to use I know it's cold press, but flax oil from a flax seed, or that I use salt every day. And the biggest download I keep getting is, Skye, you need to accept all facets of yourself and the universe, in that
Mm.
doctors are not bad, nurses are not bad. There is a fundamental density behind Mother Earth as a whole, but where it starts and where it stops, you can't blame. And remember, it was the podcast with JJ where I give this example. So everyone's on a train, and the experimenter tells all the people on the train, every 7 seconds, you're going to stand up and sit down, or 70 seconds, or whatever he decides the number is. So everyone on the train knows what's going on, except someone on the next stop gets on, and one of the people standing up every 70 seconds and sitting down gets off. And so the person looks around and everyone is standing up and sitting down. So he starts standing up and sitting down. And this goes on until all the people who were originally in this experiment, new people are getting on, they look around, they just follow. Everyone who was originally told to stand up is off the train. Every person standing up and sitting down is only doing it. They were never told, they watched what was going on around them. And that's essentially what I see medicine as, what I see government as. Yeah, there's probably people who think they know, and we are just as bad to think we know by judging another person. But all of these dynamics are just like a living life force that reflects the density of Mother Earth. What you choose to see is on you. And I find the more I love, care, nurture, respect myself and others and what I do, the reflection I get back from Mother Earth is much greater. But I feel like the universe is saying, Skye, you are using fruit to try and escape. You are me, Mother Earth, just like everyone else on this planet, just like the doctor and the nurse and the psychologist and the government official and everyone who went into that industry thinking they're going to help. I wanted to be a psychologist to think I could help. As I said before, I would have done medicine if I got the grades, like to help people. It was never to be this awful person to poison people. The more you sit in that, the more the next view you look around and you're like, well, that person's bad and I'm better. That person's bad and I'm better. And then if you use what they make or create, which is cars and phones, you subconsciously, your brain knows you're terrible because you've projected yourself. The more you can sit in love and light and happiness. And it's like, to me, it's a full-time job to look into the universe and constantly see happiness and light. But someone's got to do it. Let
Yeah.
it be you. Let it be me. Don't be the person who it's not that Bob next door is seeing a different world. They're just analyzing it in a different way. What if you spent, once you got well, your gift, all you wanted to do is not have a sore back or sore leg or some disease. That's gone. And now you have more problems. And you get rid of those and now you've decided to see more problems. Is the problem actually just you, as opposed to, and that's what I'm learning to do, is I still get into the battle. I'm like, I want to do just fruit and I do it and then I'm not so well. And it's constantly. And that's I don't know whether it's a battle, but it's my constant goal in life, for every view I see, to see love, light, and positivity, because then
Mm,
it grows. You can't grow it if you keep seeing negativity.
it's so true. And I feel I think there are two things. So this is such an important topic that I'm actually writing deeply in my coming
Love
book, new book coming up. And I'm so excited about it because 22 years of this raw vegan journey, I have gone, just it, it's yeah, I was just always looking for, okay, what's lacking from me. And that's why I'm so grateful for the community, starting with Skye. I'm so grateful for you. I never take one day for granted, being able to communicate with you, being able to do this once a
Oh,
week, honestly. And, people like Koala Mama and people who, Carl who, and we have Pete, people who comment, they're so, sweet and smart, and I'm so grateful every time. Yeah, so I mentioned it in my book, and I'm going very deep with it. And I just keep hearing so many people, reaching out to me saying that, oh, I'm in a detox again, and like, yeah, it's just like constant detox mode. And I'm thinking, like, to me, like, they, I mean, they go to work every day, you know, maybe digestion is not as prime as, some point of their life, but I just feel like, when does this detox mode end?
I think the other thing I have seen, so I'm 5 years in now, and it's amazing you writing on this because 22 years is a long time. You've got a lot of experience. But if I start seeing a pattern, I will accept it in the community. Obviously, there's not any large scientific studies on the raw vegan community, but the trend I see is when you first go raw, there will be a period of time you can allow your body to go lighter. Eat very light to give your just everything a rest, right? But then after that period where you start getting issues, if you don't rebuild, I see these people who are now fasting and herbs and going deeper. They just get more and more and more and more problems, and it's harder to get back. I've actually never seen a case where, unless a person has done it first off, that they've actually, just say you've been doing it for 5, 7, 8 years, and then they're like, I need to go deeper, I need to strip back even more, that these people have actually found a cure by stripping. So it's like, it's really that the body is just toxic, right, when you first get here, and it's given this leeway of being light. But then it's very, I find being raw, you are more sensitive to everything. So you're clear, you're not all congested, right? You've got, when you think of these people who are all blocked with inflammation, they're not feeling half the things. We feel everything. You've got to keep your minerals, your fats, your carbs, your proteins, your amino acids, your good vibes, your exercise. That's your now full-time job. Because if one goes out, it's not like when you used to be and you could, everything was blocked, you didn't feel it. You feel it. But yeah, I have not seen a person yeah, get go get better by stripping when they've been doing it so long. I see the opposite consistently in my inbox. So
Yeah, it's beautifully said. And Koala Mama mentioned this, but before I mention about her message, I had a proofread my
yeah,
book, and my friend mentioned that, Kiko, this detox mode is nothing different than being a drug addict, and
I
it's
agree.
the same kind of addiction, right?
I
So
100% agree. Thanks for saying that, Koala Mama. To the point where all I never wanted to do on a raw food diet was, every time something went wrong, latch onto something. So I've worked tirelessly to find my forever diet, or a generalized forever diet. And for me, it's more minerals, greens, omega-3s, and I go in fruit and come out of fruit. But it's those that keep me well. There was 100% a period of time where every time something went wrong, I was buying grapes, kilos of grapes, or juicing. And at the time, I really feel I didn't have a way out because I was reacting to everything. But it really teaches you, you see so clearly on a raw vegan diet what your weaknesses are. Like, looking back, I don't know, I feel like I had to go through that. But it's something that I was very mindful of going in, because I saw it everywhere. I saw people continuously juicing. They're like, I'm feeling a bit bloated, I'm going to juice for 200 days. And the other thing I wanted people to think about was, When you've been as sick as all of us have, most people going into raw have been so sick they've been driven into a lifestyle which seems different, right? I find it like a spiritual awakening, but it can feel very different. Remember just how sick you were. Like, that's what you have to remember. Like, you feel so much better even when you just start having the fresh foods. Just think about how far you've always come and just like
Mm.
let that be gratitude. And if you slip back, let it be a reminder of how crap you can feel.
Yeah.
Like,
So
don't be like, I'm so bad, I did this wrong. Let it be like, holy moly, I actually know the secret. Like, I have the secret, which is eating fresh. But yes, I've diverged here. It's 100% about what Koala Mama says is there's a time where I feel like even the universe and God is like, I'm going to let you go deep, clear everything out, have this experience. But you need to, also, we need to sit in some sort of balance. Like, how far can you go off when Mother Earth is vibrating at this density?
mm,
You float off, you
mm,
die. Like, there's no difference.
yeah,
You go too low, you die. Too high, you die.
yeah, yeah. Koala Mama is so super smart, and so she
Yes, she is.
mentioned that she eventually learned, and that's great. And I this is one of my trigger point. Like, I don't get triggered easily, but when I see like 200 days or whatever, like 60 days or even like 10 days of juice feast or water fast, and look at me, like a obese person becoming so slim and they're looking much better. But this triggers me. Again, I think that's the only thing that triggers me in the raw community. Because, I mean, of course they're skinnier. Of course they feel better after
Mm.
whatever the period of juice feast, because they're probably eating junk and they became so obese. And then like I feel like, why are they celebrate? I mean, of course that's an amazing achievement to do it for a month or 2 months of juice feast. There's a
Mm.
discipline involved, but I'm more interested in someone who can continue for a year, 2 years, 3 years, right, on the same diet, not just on the water or juice piece, because that's, to me, that's easier, right? Just
Yes.
killing yourself for a month or two, and then like everyone loves it. Like, wow, that's amazing. This is great. Wow, she's beautiful. Like almost naked photo before after, and like, yeah, like the health, like the true health is so boring. There's nothing to show. It's like every day you eat the same thing.
Because the society and the way our brain is conditioned, we are conditioned from a young age to have the quick fix, right? So we find a huge dopamine response, right? The hardest thing to do is be raw for 22 years. Do raw veganism for 5 years. I'm just about to hit 5 years. I want to
Mm,
see people in 10 years still raw. And that's why when people start making changes, I never suggest just start drinking juice. That'll fix everything. It will not.
mm,
In fact, you will be in a more of a battle because you've jumped learning how to stay raw. I always suggest if you are not raw, don't start with a juice fast. If you want to do one, sure, but you have to earn the right to be raw first because it is very difficult to juice. It's one thing to say I'm going to juice and then be raw vegan and all my problems are fixed. And it's a whole nother ball game to actually implement it. And the
mm,
only times I've struggled with cravings on this lifestyle is after doing mono fruits for weeks or juice. Any other time, I'm fine. I'm
mm,
sailing along, my body's learning, it gets what it needs. After juicing and after mono fruits, and I know people will be like, oh, you've just dug up all the toxins in your body. I'm like, well, if those toxins are going to send me back and everybody else back to eating fast food, I don't think it's worth doing. Like, I think it's worth learning to look after yourself. My goal on this planet is self-love, which means I'm here to learn to look after myself. And that's going to
mm,
look different to everybody else. I was also thinking about how what I did to fix 32 years of chronic illness, I don't do today. Because a lot of people want a quick answer. What did you do? How did you eat? That will fix me.
Mm.
If it doesn't work for me now, do we think it's going to fix everybody? The other thing we see everywhere in the community is the people who have found this long term do it their way. Did they
Mm.
get there easily? No, but nothing doing anything worthwhile, we never get there easily. It's always like that hard work. But you can't, I want to stress how never disconnect love and raw food, because
Mm.
once you do, where you go, you will not like. If you
Mm.
are doing something and you're feeling angry and miserable and resentful, take some steps back, look around, and find the love in how you do your raw foods. It will reflect in your life. Like, do not ever disconnect love and raw food.
Yeah, so true. And there are so many layers to this. And yeah, I have been doing this raw vegan I'm on this raw vegan journey for over 20 years, but it hasn't been a clean journey. And I I'm so grateful for the community right now because someone like you, Sky, you're just sticking with this raw path and not looking for, I don't know, there's a fine line in so many things. But before I was in a community where it was okay to eat junk food, and then because there's a detox high, right? Like we all know that, oh, okay, we can just go on a green juice fast, then we would feel fine again. So that you have this junk detox in this social
Mm,
pressure that we are in. And yeah, I had to leave that community because I didn't want it to be, to go through this toxic cycle.
yeah, it's it. We our learned behaviors are hard to unlearn. In fact, the only way I've learnt to not go back is love. Like, it isn't even the food, it isn't even the exercise, it isn't even some protocol. It's the fact that I feel more love the lighter I eat. But if I go too light, I just feel suffering. So it's like finding your Goldilocks zone. But if I guess many people come into this overeducated. So the love isn't attached. It's not attached to surgeries, it's not attached to doctors. But if you've got yourself, they're useful, right? If you have an accident, you want to be rushed to hospital, but you've got yourself into some sort of density, you're going to work yourself out. But for every day, like, where is that love and light? And I feel like I probably am still raw because of that, not just discipline. Well, my discipline, probably because I have ADHD, it only comes from love. The one consistency I can always rely on, even when my brain goes off, is the fact that I've trained myself so well to even
Mhm.
say the word love. And in the way the world is, if we can remember, if you're raw, how density feels, if you can even say the words love, I swear you'll be guided into a more loving lifestyle just naturally. Like, who's to say that the people that find raw foods were already, the reason they felt that illness was they were in that battle of love and sensitivity. And there's that, that hardship they go through, the hero's journey, and they come through, find raw food. But it's probably why I can stay raw and do any choice I make, is because I'm constantly in love.
Yeah, this love definition, though, it's so difficult, I feel. Like everyone
True.
has their own way of, loving themselves. Some people might say, oh, I worked so hard, I deserve a candy. It's, and then is it really a self-love? Not really. Hi, this.
So what I want to say on that is, I always heard this love thing most of my life, and it really felt like arrogance to me, even when I would say it out aloud. And that's because I hadn't found it yet. The only way I sit in love is that I am filled with raw food, like a lot of fresh raw food that I haven't been out. It's been really rainy and I can feel disconnect. In fact, I don't know whether you can see it happen. And I'm so sensitive. People are always like, you clean your lymphatic system and your eyes will go blue. My eyes are really gray right now because I've been indoors nonstop for 2 days. How the color of my eyes, even when you see videos, I'm like, my eyes look blue there. Oh, I've just finished running. They completely reflect the
Oh
time I've
wow.
oh,
There's
you the whole time. Yeah, they were just. I've
there's a
been
lot.
off.
Yeah, I knew that direct sunlight changed, but I didn't know that there's a after effect.
Have a. I will show you, Kiko. I'll send you a video. So I've been indoors for a couple of days and just been looking at screens, whether that's been work or it's been a weekend, so movies. And I go in the mirror. I'm like, God, I look half dead. I have gotten myself where I was still finding raw foods and still drinking a lot, but I was spending more time when I was up outdoors, right? And my eyes are electric blue, but I was still sick. My liver was failing. I had, so that premise that with the lymphatic
Wow.
system cleans it, the only thing for me which determines me not having, they've never gone back to green. They're blue gray. When I was really sick, there was green. So obviously I guess that background level of it cleaned out. But
Green. Wow.
yeah,
When you were
my
sick,
sister,
green?
yeah, yeah, when I was sick, but not, they changed. They're like a blue, green, gray. But now it's more blue gray to be fair. But even when I've been really sick, if I've managed to spend a huge amount of time outside, and especially if water is involved, like nature is
Mm,
me personally, my eyes. So to sit in self-love, I have to be connected majority of the day to nature, a lot of the day to nature. Or let's say a week as a whole, I need to have spent a lot of time outdoors. I need to have movement. I need to have spent time alone. I need to be doing my
mm,
passion. I need to eat raw food. I need to have sleep. And I don't sleep as well when I've been indoors. So it's like this cycle. But I've never felt self-love off. Like, okay, just say I got a brand new pair of glasses and I felt so in love with them. Only because I feel like I've worked hard to look after myself. I've worked hard to be well, and now I appreciate them. Like, I feel like the true self-love is where the majority of what you do, you love it because it's free. The best things in life are free. Now that I've discovered what you mean. I am blurry. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I can try coming out again and going back in.
yeah,
I
I
don't know
wanted
why
to.
I'm blurry.
Yeah, the reason she's blurred is not because she didn't. It's raining. It's because of the internet connection.
Yeah. I don't know why it's still doing that. I can try leaving. Try leaving quickly. One sec.
Yeah, and you see, so I am in my husband's um office, and it's a bit of a mess. Sorry. This is my sauna. I go in every morning because it's very cold. And if you see, it's full of snow back there. And yeah, it was a bit of a okay, Sky is back. Yeah, it's always better when you just come back.
Is it blurry yet? I
No,
got off this browser and jumped on not another browser, but the old one's still there. I closed the old window and reopened it. So maybe. Sorry,
well,
guys.
yeah, I guess sound is really good. So Kuala Mama said we have fiber optic internet and it gets bad when there is a heavy rain or sudden freezing. Or yeah, that
It's
happens.
it's heavy rain here all weekend. It's been a weird summer here in Australia, but good because there's no bushfires, right? All the rain.
Mm, yeah. So another thing about this, you know, chance and control and chance that we are talking about is when we see people on internet, they look beautiful, their stomach might be flat, they might go on a hike, very tough hike, and you just start comparing to yourself and say, oh, this person is, doing amazing, and I don't have one part of this person's health, and you start thinking, okay, maybe I haven't pushed myself. And I definitely have been there, like, oh, I never had mucoid plaque in 20, over 22 years of raw vegan diet. Like I've done quite a few detox and I just didn't feel right to continue longer. And people would say, oh, because you didn't push enough. Like, what is this, price of getting mucoid plaque? And it's like, again, it's like, drug addict of getting
But
high
also,
and
when you've been so sick, why do you want to be more sick? I don't get it. That's what I don't get. So if you've been as sick as I have my whole, because people like, you didn't want to like stop your life, you kept going. I'm like, because I didn't want to suffer. That sounds like more suffering. My whole goal every day when I was very sick is to not suffer. And I guess I've taken that mindset over here. I will do anything not to feel pain. I would
mm,
never, like, that's why when I do anything, like, I don't do extended and I do it my own way because people are like, how long are you doing that? How long is that going to last? I don't know until my body doesn't want it. I won't go more than a day or two in suffering. I will adjust. If it doesn't work, I'll adjust because I've suffered so much that all I want is to feel love, light, happiness for the rest of my life. Like,
huh,
and
did you ever have like a food addiction, Sky?
I think we all did. But I was always in pain. Like my brain, I think, is very conditioned to other people. When I was younger, for sure. But I think, I mean, when I was in hospital in those psych units and I was vegan for the first time, is psych meds, when unless you're on stimulants, all they do is make you want to eat. Your whole life is consumed by
Oh,
how much, and I don't even have a stomach. You see everyone on psych meds have these massive bellies. It's almost like the alarm system doesn't go off, like that you're full. It just you're just consumed by food. That was, and especially feeling the level of depression and FND that I had at some stints when I was in there. So there's times where my whole world revolved around food and I would only eat these disgusting public hospital vegan meals with salt and pepper, sometimes sugar on it, because I was that was like, I don't know. My life is very, I guess it's when you've had, just say you start this at 30 or 40 and you haven't had extensive sickness like that and there's just been addictions of food, it would probably be a different focus. My focus most of my recalled life is what can I do to not be in pain? I will not eat for a couple of days if that means I will eat something weird. I will do
yeah.
whatever it takes. I will. So um, that I think is my story more
Okay.
so.
So like when you were drinking, was it coffee? That was to remove the pain? Was it coffee? Like a while ago.
So do you mean when I was like, I was proud that I was just having coffee? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think was it last, I don't know when, but didn't you have a period of coffee time like 4 5 days that made you feel quite sick?
No? I always had coffee. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, when I went back to coffee. So when I went back to coffee, I had broken my toe and had
Yeah,
stopped.
that's
So
yeah.
yeah, I was very aware of what was happening because I that stage I was running every day and doing Pilates as well, and then you stop. Plus, I had to move back home. So you put me on pain medication with pain in bed with no outlet. And I think my body just wanted that adrenaline or that just something to probably numb it. Because probably I would feel, because before I ended up in bed, I was exercising excessively to deal with the pain. And so then I had to stop and then I had coffee and it made me really sick. So yes, I guess it's always there, but I don't really see that as a problem. Like
Mm.
if you know what I mean? Like I think it's all perception. Someone could do that and be like, I'm so bad. I had coffee. That's so bad. I'm like, trust me, in the scheme of what I've been through and done to my body is so healthy. It's going to metabolize something like, I think 4 or 5 cups of coffee
Mm.
because it's so efficient. So it does. I'm like that though. I'm like, unless something's really massive, it's not on my radar. Maybe that helps me too. I'm not someone who's like, oh, I did that wrong or that wrong. I'm like, it has to be the mother of things to affect me. And I was actually thinking that's why, like even I was bleeding out internally. I could barely stay conscious. And I worked until the day I ended up in an emergency unit bleeding out, where I had not enough blood left in my body. And that didn't happen instantly. That happens over probably a period of a year. I keep going until something so big. It's like, which can be dangerous, but I think for mental health, it's really good because I sit in a very high vibration that everything's just happy. Like it would have to be horrendous for me not to see a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything bad about coffee, or I'm just more interested in like what's the reasoning of everyone's action, right? And I know that you whatever you eat and do is very purposeful, so that's why I was asking. And I wanted to answer Tess' comment. She asked me how did my husband feel about going raw. I mean, I was raw when I met him, and he didn't understand. And it took a while for him to understand that I'm actually very allergic to everything non-raw. Like, it's very difficult for people to understand. Like, he's vegan, right? But, uh, you know, same food in a cooked form, I was just not well. I'm actually, I have a delayed allergy. So if I have an allergy right away, eating, I don't know, tofu, let's say, eating tofu, it doesn't affect me right away, but it would show within 2, 3 days. So it's people don't see the connection. It's not like a nut allergy that, I would just collapse. That would be easier for people to see. And so for my husband, it took him a while to understand that I'm actually allergic. Now he understands that I'm allergic to cooked food, right? So he respected, and he's very easygoing. He doesn't like cooking, he doesn't like to be in the kitchen. So I do everything. And he becomes pretty much raw vegan, especially in the summertime. Yeah. And then Koala Mama said the overall trend over time is what matters. The overall trend over time is what matters. Oh yeah, to be sustainable. Yeah, to eat what.
100%. 100%. I think the other thing is about sitting in positivity. So just say your memory tells you that, you weren't very well when you're eating these cooked food and addictive foods. And then you get on a raw lifestyle and you're kind of like, I can't have that. I can't go out. I can't do this. I can't do that. And all of a sudden you're like, well, the other side doesn't seem so bad now because this doesn't seem so good. You need to find a way. This is why I work so hard with clients, to love what you do, to love it so much that when you're faced with all your old addictions and all the things you used to do, that you're like, this is my prime example, is when I go out for Father's Day or Mother's Day, especially now I'm well, I'm further away from the suffering. It's like, why don't I just have a vegan dish and a glass of wine? It's a couple of times a year. Why not do that? And actually, I've never actually asked myself this, but I focus so much on, because I get tempted by, like wanting to feel more connected. And now that I feel like I could handle it, right? I know I probably couldn't. So I've made it a huge mission of mine to like absolutely give myself nurturing and retreat style when I leave. So when I go, they might have 7 courses with matching wines. I will have a salad, possibly a salad and a fruit tray, right? So you're triggered nonstop. But when I go home, I've said this so many times, I get in the shower, I wash everything off, because when you're a raw vegan, you're really hydrated. So water feels, for me, it's like I've just noticed I've
Mhm.
always loved it. And so I'll stand in the shower and I'll go, Skye, right now you would have ordered more wine. Like you would have, or you'd feel like crap. You'd be so bloated. You'd be so starting to feel like, and you get anxiety about tomorrow. I can't do my live. I can't go to work. You don't have that. Then I'll put my favorite lounge gear on, outfit, and then I'll make whatever recipe I want. Okay. I'll light a candle. I'll put my music on. I might do a live. I flood my body with good dopamine. Now, for me, that's all these type of things. Okay, I sometimes go for a run. This night, I went for a walk, and then I noticed the universe always surprises me. So there's a dog called, I think you pronounce his name Giato, and he skateboards. Have you seen the video of mine, the skateboarding dog?
Oh yeah, it's so cute.
Yes. Oh, so Christmas Day, like I don't drink, I don't eat those foods. I was doing keto, high omega-3. I did the dance with my niece. Lots of laughing on Christmas Day because I felt really good. And then I came back, went for a run along the water. Then I came back and the skateboarding dog was back up. And I'm like, see, God delivers. Look what I get to do. And so the alternative to that, I'm very mindful of this, could be feeling like crap, making bad decisions, already feeling sick from the food and alcohol. But instead, I'm just still vibing. And so I'm very
Yeah.
mindful to do this. Flood yourself with good dopamine after you've been triggered.
You're so smart, Sky. It's so important to have that dopamine, the same kind of dopamine. You're brilliant, Sky, and I do feel
Oh,
like, yeah, really, you have so many great ideas, and it just comes so naturally. And I think this is, what you're looking at as, you work as self-love. Because self-love, again, everyone has their own definition. And is it really love? I feel sometimes. And when you go out when you go out in a restaurant, you feel like, as a vegan or raw vegan, we feel punished, right? Like, you order a plate of salad. Like, let's say the only thing they have raw is maybe chicken salad, right? They would have a bed of
mm,
salad with chicken on top of it. So okay, so what we can do is remove the chicken, right?
yeah.
And then the crouton, but it will be the same price. They might spit on your salad because
Yes.
they annoy you. I mean, you annoy them. And then, like, on top of that, it's just super expensive. And so you
Yeah.
feel um punished, right? So you have to bring this, like, dopamine in something else. And what you do is, I don't know, like, you go dancing, or you put a favorite clothes, or even bring a nice, I don't know, wine glass to drink your green juice, and
Yep.
celebrate.
All of it.
Yeah, it's so
And
important,
stack
like
it.
matching.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so stack it. So don't be like, oh, because of I missed out, I'm just going to have green juice in a wine glass. Stack it. So be like wine glass in a, sorry, juice in a wine glass, my favorite loungewear, my favorite recipe, my favorite exercise. Before you know it, you've got so much dopamine going through you because you trained at doing it. Of course, when you first start, you don't have all of this. But this is what happens when you do pay for the chicken salad with no salad, and you do, the benefits for me still outweigh the negatives, like
Mm.
beyond. The fact that I feel good all the time is something so foreign to past me. And I think I am
Oh,
someone who
so
even
interesting. Like, how do you go from that? Like, it's completely different
you think
place.
you're in heaven. You think, but this is what keeps it there. I am this, but a lot of people do, right? I feel like a lot of people, when they first go raw, have this enlightened experience because many people go from so much suffering. And then once you get on the fresh foods, even if your symptoms haven't completely gone, you feel so much different. Like you feel so, you like that. And I know you're 22 years away from it, but I know I can't completely remember it. But the fact that I just felt like an absolute, completely different person, it was going from like absolute suffering. And they say people who have been alcoholics, if you just stop drinking for a year, a lot of people still have like caffeine and junk food to cope. You have what's called like it's like pink clouds or a pink year where everything seems bright and energetic. So you've already got like, because you don't realize you've got yourself into so much darkness. I don't know. I went raw and I was just, nothing can compare to how that made me feel. And they've given me some
That's
pretty
so,
hardy drugs over the years, and
yeah,
nothing
so
can compare to
interesting.
how, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay. No, no, no. This is so interesting. I want to come back to it, but I just want to answer what Koala Mama asked. And there's
Oh, sorry.
Haruka from Instagram asked the same question. So what I am eating. So this one is my smoothies, and you can see all the ingredients in my Instagram if you're interested. Namado Kiko. Namadokiko, but basically it's 70-80, similar to what Dr. Brooke Goldner, 5 tablespoons of chia seeds. It's so good. Gives me so much energy. Yeah, so that's what I'm drinking. And someone said I have zero dopamine.
Okay, that is the first problem there. You see, first off, I want to say is I would love to be someone who sits here and goes, love is the answer. Raw food is the key for me and nature that I can feel my own love. So I have not, as soon as I even eat too much dehydrated food, for me, I cannot feel love. So I can't sit here and say you're supposed to talk
Mm.
yourself into it. I cannot see a way that I can feel like the true happiness of love and dopamine without an abundance of the fresh food. So and that's not a whole lot of condiments and nuts and seeds and raw food. That's like the living stuff. I feel like I become it and I start vibrating with the universe. Many people, I think there are coaches and stuff out there who are like, you can talk yourself and love yourself. Man, I tried my entire life and I noticed my life just starts going downhill if I don't have a lot of fresh food. So when it comes to experiencing true love, self-love and dopamine, the true natural dopamine, first and foremost for me is raw food, nature. Everything else is great as well, but those two will get you very far. Movement is, of course, in good sleep, but those two for me, even good sleep comes for me with that. And then the way I feel my exercise, the way I feel about people, the way I feel about creating podcasts is so dopamine enriching.
Mm-hmm.
The hard
Yeah.
thing is trying to explain raw foods to somebody in density. I mean, when I was as sick as I was, you could have said it to me. It would have gone, oh, yeah, what, feeling a bit better. I'm sure that doesn't work. That's really what my mindset and where I was. How you get, like, I wish people could just be transported into raw foods and feel it. But the whole reason you feel it is you got to work hard to do it. So,
Yeah, it is hard, but
uh,
yeah, it's definitely worth it. So I just type it up. Raw food is how we stay in love and in pink
yeah, it
heaven.
is.
Pink heaven, I love it.
I love that. I love that. Many people I would many people it doesn't sit well with. They're like, food isn't the answer. I'm sorry, for me it is. Like I cannot. Of course, there's more to life, but I've always said this. My analogy. On the other side of this door is your happiness, and there's a door, there's a lock, and there's a key. The key for me is raw food. The lock is nature. The door is my sleep and my exercise and my good people and living in purpose. And then the door opens, and there's my happiness.
But Sky, you have a very balanced life. I mean, you work hard in every aspect. For me as well, raw food is the answer. It sounds very, it might trigger when I say that to so many people, but raw food is the starting point for me. If I don't eat raw food, I cannot get up happy. I know I have tried it. I would not get up, waking up. I feel good. La 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 la. I would wake up with this music.
Yes, that's what it's like.
I would wake up with this music every day on this diet. And sometimes I feel tired. It's okay. It might not be every day, but most of the days I would wake up so good. And another motivation for me not taking just a tiny bit of candy is that if I wake up not feeling well, like I might have a nightmare and I would wake up, I don't want to chase myself thinking, oh, was it because of the tiny candy I ate? Like, I don't want to taste that, right? Like, if I eat clean for
I know what
sure, in
you're
my
saying, yeah.
mind, I don't say, okay, well, I'll just continue this way. And, you know, it just hiccup happens, right? And so I don't want to have that, you know, tiring thoughts
I
of
know what you're
what
saying.
could it be? Yeah. But
I
I,
think
I
also I was just gonna say quickly, what happens is I've cut back on I love salt, helps me a lot, but too much becomes detrimental for me, and not enough is a problem for me too. So that I work on. But the thing I notice with salt, and it's like this with cooked food, is a lot of people can wake up and you don't feel so good, but most people will wake up and not feel that bad and not be so aware. And that's how it happens. I feel that people keep going, well, it's not that bad. But before you know it, for me, my joints, because there's a bit of dehydration, my joints start to get a bit stiff. And it doesn't happen
Mm.
overnight. It takes
Yeah.
time. And then your brain doesn't tell you because you're not so aware. You're hyper aware. Sorry. We've got to obviously wind up. So
No, yeah, no, but I just want to say that you don't just focus on one thing. You start with raw food, and which you're very much dedicated. Everything you put in your mouth is dedicated for your wellness, right? There's no deviation for you. And then on top of that, as soon as you feel good, then you exercise, right? You do Pilates, you go swimming, and you run. And then on top of that, of course, you have the self-love, like spiritual, right? You shower yourself with beautiful words, and all that little thing for me also, it start with raw food.
yes,
It's yeah, it's the
it does.
baseline.
Like that's the biggest thing is I can't do all those things. And people might say, oh, it's hard. No, do you know what is hard? I just did another post. 60 surgeries is hard. Having organs removed is hard. Having carers is hard. Being in hospital is hard. Being on disabilities is hard. Eating a salad at a restaurant, guys, that to me, and I have to remind myself, ain't that hard. Like it'll always be, you've got to go back to your darkest hour and go, no, that was hard. And nothing in raw
Mm,
foods has technically been that hard, Kiko. I've actually got
so
to go. I've got my group meeting.
yeah, yeah, me too. Well, it was lovely. It was such an important topic, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well as much as we did. Totally did, and I'm really thankful for, Sky. You're such a great friend and great friend for
Love
me, and
you.
love you.
Love you
Bye bye,
guys.
everyone.